Hey, so what's going on, everyone? So today we've got another unboxing. So I'm not going to try to show it too much, but beforehand I had to mark out my home address on here twice. And for the record, yes, I did try taking the label off because I already know someone's going to probably say, well, why didn't you just take the label off? It was starting to rip into the package, and that would kind of defeat the purpose of it being an unboxing video. So I took a marker and I marked through both of the times my address appears on the envelope. And no, I have no idea why. So this one's a little bit different. So I get to be an animated character because my smile's all the way down here. I don't know which video is coming first, but that happened with another book that I did an unboxing for. If anyone wants to draw that and send it to me, my social media links are in the description below. And if I like it, maybe it could be used on one of my projects or even one of my channels or my social media pages, and maybe something else in your favor too. Just throw that out there. But we're not here to discuss the possibility of someone making me look like a crazy animated character. We are here so all of you get to see what's inside this, or the book inside of this thing. And apologies if the table's shaking. Okay, I can say that this cover does look pretty cool. Painted Memoirs from Stained Glass Publishing. Memories awakened through painting. So there is the front. There is the spine. Let me back up a little bit. And there is the back to anyone who would like to pause this and read the back of it. And for those that don't, give me a minute and I will be flipping the book back over and reading the back of it myself. Join these various authors as they tell the stories of characters whose memories are awakened through paintings. And if this is the same as the other one, my stories are actually the first ones in here. Yes, they are. So I have 3 short stories in this collection. The Old Mill, Going Back, and Museum of Memories. So, first story, I'm not going to read all of these. I will check with Angela later, see if it's alright about reading them on my second channel. I'm just going to read the blurbs for my 3 stories for anyone that's interested. So Going Back. Theo sees a painting that reminds him of his childhood home. the home he was living in the day his father left. A now adult Theo seemingly goes into the past while staring at the painting. To the day his dad left. Is this a chance at a proper farewell or a chance to change history? So basically, just like the blurb says, in this one, my story is about a guy named Theo. He's at a museum, and the woman tells him this painting's special. And he looks at it and he said, "It looks like my childhood home." And it took him back to the day that his dad left. And the day his dad left, that was the last time he ever saw his dad. So this was a chance for him to maybe say goodbye, maybe rewrite history. Like maybe he's just going to go back and tell him off and say, "Hey, here's what happened because you left," and give him the middle finger and leave. Never know. So that's the first story here. Second one is The Old Mill. So for the record, I wrote this one in first person. So just want to give everyone a heads up as I'm reading the blurb. When in an antique store, I see a painting. It's not just any painting. It's a painting of the mill near where I lived as a child. I'll let nostalgia take over as I stare into my past. So basically, this guy's in an antique store. He sees something that looks like the old mill that he used to go to. And it brings up the memories of some of the silly things that he did as a child. And even the feeling of being upset that the old mill that he used to go to is no longer there. So this is a chance of him getting to just have some nostalgia and just go, "Hey, I remember this." And finally, Museum of Memories. Now, out of the three stories I've got in here, this one's probably my favorite out of my three. A man sets up an art exhibit to sell and display his paintings. He soon finds out art is a universal language, and while he painted from his own experiences, others connect to art in their ways too. So, story is a guy, he's setting up a little exhibit at an art museum nearby. He even names it the Museum of Memories. And throughout the day, he's just showing off the paintings and even selling a few of them. And every time someone points out something, he tells them about his experience. And when he's telling people about his experiences, others are able to connect with it in their own way. One example being the first memory he had of seeing his little sister. He was at home. His mom wasn't going to bring him to the hospital because he was still young himself. And the person who was that bought the painting said, "That's exactly what happened when I gave birth to my second child. My first child didn't get to go to the hospital because of how young they were. And now they ended up seeing the child a little bit later than everyone else did." I don't want to spoil it, but the part that I think a lot of people will like in that one's the ending. Throughout the entire time, he sees a woman staring at one specific painting. And he tells the woman that it's an old friend of his that he doesn't have connections with anymore. And it turns out that those two have more of a connection with one another than they may think. So, my connection to stained glass publishing and how I ended up in Painted Memoirs, there's a couple of anthologies I've been in over the years that are holiday themed, and they are run by Angela Kay, the person in charge of SGP. Or there's the stained glass logo for anyone who wants to look them up on social media. I'm not going to have links in the description below for any of my stories because of the anthologies I've been in from Stained Glass. This is the only one that's still in print. But this one's either the 5th or 6th Stained Glass anthology I was in. So the original plan for this was for it to come out in 2019. And for various reasons, Angela wasn't able to get enough people signed up right away, so it had to get pushed back multiple times, which on my end kind of sucked because I really, really enjoy my story Museum of Memories, and I really hope that someone watching this will check out this book and read Museum of Memories. It's one of my favorite stories I've written. It's definitely, it's, how can I put this? If you're a fan of my poetry, that's the short story you're going to want to read. Because I know a lot of people don't like reading some of the fiction that I write if you started off by reading my poetry. If that's the case, Museum of Memories is definitely the story for you. Anyway, back to the book itself. So, after Angela was finally able to get more people to sign up and be in the anthology, this was released, I believe, in March. So this is the original cover for the one that came out in March of 2020. And then there is the back for anyone who wants to pause it. I'm not going to read this one because it is the exact same blurb. So basically the contract was coming to an end and Angela was pretty straightforward with us. The book did not sell well. So we were given two options. Either the book can go out of print or she does a re-release with the book and we try to promote it a little bit more for a few more months and see what happens. So I was fine with either option because I already knew if the book stays in print, I can show it off. If the book goes out of print, I've got projects I'm working on. So everyone voted to keep it, and we got a new cover. And again, I highly recommend checking this one out. For anyone that's on a budget right now, this book is very, very cheap. I'll have the links down below for the paperback and the digital. You will see what I mean. This is definitely one of the cheapest books you can buy if you are looking for something. That also leads me to something else that has been requested from a lot of you that have been watching, as well as some of my friends that are also writers. A lot of you have been asking that I do reviews. Now, while I personally think that Painted Memoirs is great and you should check it out, there will not be a review video for this one. I'm in the book and I don't feel that's right. If I'm going to review a book, I want to make sure that I can take out the bias of my inclusion in the book. But I will tell you, everyone that's in this book is incredibly talented. So there it is, once again, for anyone that wants to check it out. And Angela, this last part is for you. To my knowledge, I don't think I am signed up for any other stained glass anthologies. So right now I've been trying to focus more on my own material. So if this is my final stained glass appearance, thank you. Because out of a lot of the publishers I've worked with before, you've been pretty quick with responses. I know there was one of the books where you had some issues with one of the people saying some negative things, and a lot of us had to come up to your defense, and even, I mean, you even told us like we didn't have to do that. But I can't promise you I will be in another anthology anytime soon, just because I'm working on a lot of other stuff right now. So if this is the last one, I just want to personally say thank you for all the times you've included me on one of the anthologies you've put together. It really means a lot. That is it for this one. I will have the Amazon link so you can pick up a copy of this. To anyone that lives in America, this book is $4. $4 for the print book. It is cheap. You should buy it. I will also have links in the description below for Stained Glass Publishing. And I will also have my own social media links down below as well. I will also have the link where you can stream and download my poem Rise Above. I will have the link in the description below for my second YouTube channel where I read my poetry and short stories. You might get something from this one, possibly. Just keep that in mind. But that does it for this one. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.